Hello, everybody. Welcome to ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Texas Rangers. Pitching matchup for tonight's game, it is Nolan Ryan for the Rangers and Juan Guzman for the Toronto Blue Jays. There you see the starting lineups and benches, as well as the bullpens. Got our dice, and I think we're just about ready to go. Got my replay results board in my view, but it's off the phone camera, but I can read it as it's happening, so hopefully it'll be seamless. And I've got my action chart to the side as well, so I think we are about ready to go. Looking at Texas, they have some rough numbers on defense. They only have two players that are above average defensively. That's Palmeiro and Gonzalez. Everybody else is average or below average. So they're going to be looking at some bad defense. Now, Toronto has the exact opposite. They're up the middle at first, at center, short, and second, the best you can have. 5 range in center field for Devon White, which is the best. 1s in second and short, which are the best for Alomar and Fernandez. So stark difference there defensively. We'll see if it comes into play in the game or how much it comes into play in the game. And again, since the batter card is read first, we will make sure that card is shown first. Nolan Ryan finishing up those warm-up tosses. And Devon White will be stepping in. We get a 5-3-4. 5-3 is a 40 with a C on it, so that's an action chart result if he reaches. So a 5 and a 3 gives us a 40. 5 and a 4 gives us a 5, total of 45, and that is going to be a walk. So leadoff walk to Devon White, and we're going to the action chart, which probably talks about stolen bases. The C action chart is about stolen bases, so we'll roll on that and see what happens. It's an 11 when you add up the red and white, and that is a stolen base plus error, SBE. And it says stolen base plus possible throwing error on the catcher. Roll against catcher's error rating. If roll is higher, all runs advance an extra base. Well, the catcher throwing rating or error rating for Gino Petralli is a 44. So if you roll a 45 or higher, it will be an error. 44 or less, then that means White will just stay at second base. And it is going to be an error. So Devon White will steal second and take third on the Gino Petralli throwing error. So already Devon White causing issues. A walk, a stolen base, and now an E2. So before you know it, Devon White's on third base with nobody out to start off the ball game. Rough start for the Rangers, obviously. Roberto Alomar is the batter with nobody out and a runner at third. They're actually going to play back because they want to get the out and try to avoid any sort of a big inning. I'll make sure I didn't mess up the focus by putting that chart in there. All right, so infield is back. Alomar, 4-3 is a 25. And a 25 talks about a bunt down the line. The blue die is a 3. So let's see here. That's going to be the third baseman. So we're checking the range of the third baseman. And we'll roll 2 dice, and if they're both higher than the range of the third baseman, then that means that the batter is out. If one or the other is not higher, the batter's safe. Dean Palmer's a 4, so that means both these dice have to be a 5 and a 6 for Dean Palmer to make the play. Otherwise, it's an infield bunt single. And it's an infield bunt single because the 6 is higher. So that's going to be a bunt single by Alomar. That will score. Devon White wasn't a suicide squeeze or anything. He just saw that even though the infield was in, he figured he could do it. So he did it. Actually, no, let me take that back. I was looking at the infield back chart. So let's back up. Let's back up to my original roll here. Let's back this up. I do want to make that correction. Runner at third, infield in when you have and we had the the 25 here, the 3 was the third baseman, so that's a total of 29. And a 29 says, hard shot down the line, rolled one die against the fielder's range. If a die is higher, fielder makes dive and catch. Any run on third holds, others advance. If die is not higher, ball gets by fielder and into the corner for a base clearing double. So there we go. So it's a 2. It's not higher than this defense, so it would actually be a double for Alomar. It's not going to be the bunt with the infield in like that. I didn't think that made sense at first when I read that, but it is going to be a double for Roberto Alomar. I apologize for the mix-up, but Alomar does double. Alomar does hit the double. And 1-0 Jays right off the bat. I mean, right off the bat, before even the seats are even warm. This is what's happening. And where I'm getting that from is right here. With the infield in, the 20, we had a 25 from the batter and a 3 from the hitter, from the pitcher, made it a 28. It says hard shot down the line. Roll one die against the range. If die is higher, stops it. But his range was a 4 and rolled a 2, so therefore it was not higher, and therefore it went down the line for a double. So just want to make sure that was correct. And we get it right, whether it's a hiccup or not. Well, I want to get it right. So somebody who got it right was Roberto Alomar, putting it down the line past the drawn-in Dean Palmer. So he's at second base, nobody out for Molitor. We get a 6-6. That's even more trouble for Nolan Ryan. 6-6 is a 9. The 5 is a 4. So we're going to add 4 to whatever this number becomes. Right now it's a 13, which would be a home run. But we're going to come up here to Arlington Stadium, and if we roll a low number, say a 1, 2, or 3, then that's going to change this, drop this down to an 8, 7, or a 6, and they might not have a chance for a home run. So let's see what it is. First of all, it's a 5, so it's going to be a 10. So it's actually going to go up 1 to a 10. 10 to 4 is a 14, and that is long, and that is gone. Paul Molitor, a 2-run homer, and Nolan Ryan is really getting rocked. It is now 3-0, and nobody is out. So at least it means the run was earned. Not that that matters, but it's 3-0 Toronto. And here comes Joe Carter. 1-5 is a 5. 1-5 is a 2. It's a total of 7, which is a pop out to second. And they finally record an out. Here comes John Olerud, normally the first baseman, but he is the designated hitter in this game as Molitor is patrolling first. 6-4, and that's a split chance, lefty-righty split chance, and this would be a fly out. This is a potential home run. In fact, it's not potential anymore. That's an 11. The 6 over here makes that a 4. It's a 15, and that is long, and that is gone. John Olerud, because he was facing a righty, hits the home run. The left-right split is the 3-6 result, but sometimes there's some left-right splits in the 6 column, and the 6-4 is exactly where we found it. Solo shot for Olerud is now 4-0 Toronto. And the fans here at Arlington Stadium are getting restless. Fernandez, 1-1's a 15, 1-3 is a 2, total of 17. And that's going to be a single plus a potential error. The blue die is a 3, which means it's topped off the plate to the catcher. Hurry up throw may be wild. So roll against the error rating of the fielder. So the error rating again on Petrali is 44, so we'll see if it's higher than 44 or not. It is not. It's 43, so there will be no error, but there will be an infield single for Tony Fernandez. But at least Petrali didn't throw it away. So Fernandez is at first with 1 out. Infield halfway for the double play. Here's Ed Sprague. 2-1's a 45. 2-1 is a 1, total of 46, and that's going to be a ground ball short to first with the runner advancing. So runner advances to second base. The only play for the shortstop Diaz was to throw out Sprague at first base. So runner moves to second. Now there's 2 away for Pat Borders. Two 3 is a 2. 2-4 is a 2. Total of 4. That's a strikeout for Nolan Ryan to finally get out of the inning. But damage done. 4 runs for the Blue Jays in the top of the first. And that just puts them behind the 8 ball before the game even gets going. And Juan Guzman is the beneficiary of all the run support. And now the Rangers have their work cut out for them. They do have some big bats, but it's still a chore to come back from 4-0 in the first inning. Here's Gary Redus. Well, that's a good start. 6-6 is a 9. That puts him at a potential home run chance. That's a 1. 6-1 is a 1. So we come over here to the 1. There's also a raised number, so that could come into play on a potential home run check. But right now, we're at a 9, but we're going to roll and see if that number changes. 5, it changes to a 10. So 10 and the 1 is an 11, which is a potential home run. 1 to 5 is a single. A 6 is a home run. It's a 3. It's going to stay to a single for Gary Redus. Had we rolled the home run chance successfully, then we roll again and see if we rolled a 1 or a 2. If we rolled a 1 or a 2, that would have stopped the home run. But in this case, it's simply going to be a leadoff single for Gary Redus. So maybe this is going to be a slugfest from the get-go. Shootout at the OK Corral since we're in Texas. But although the OK Corral was not in Texas, but you know what I mean. Shootout with the Westerns. So here is Julio Franco, designated hitter. 6-1's a 16, 6-5 is a 3, total of 19. That's a fly to right field for 1 away. Hauled in by Joe Carter. And that will bring up Rafael Palmeiro. 5-5's a 20, 5-6 is a 5, total of 25, and that's going to be a walk. Says to go to the action chart M. So that M talks about pickoffs and wild pitches, so that is available to go to despite the fact that the runner is on second already. We're not worried about a steal. We're talking about wild pitches and so forth. So we're rolling that. Action chart M. And it says we got a 10. 10 on action chart M is a pass ball. So it says here, if blue die is higher than the pass ball rating, well, he's a 6, so the blue die is going to definitely be higher because the pass ball rating of Pat Borders is only, whoops, let me find it. Pass ball rating of Pat Borders is only a 4. So pass ball is going to move everybody up to second and third. So for one thing, it takes the double play out of order and puts 2 runners into scoring position for Juan Gonzalez. And like I said, this could be a slugfest. Who knows? Infield back for Toronto. They want to get it out. 2-2 is an 11. That's going to be a base hit. Anytime you get the 11, there's just no way to avoid that. The 2-1 is a 1, total of 12. That's an infield single. Runner on advances 1 base. Runner with 4 or 5 speed advances 2 bases. So the runner on second is Palmeiro. His speed is a 4, so he will score. So it's a 2-run single for Juan Gonzalez. And just that quickly, Texas has cut the lead in half at 4-2 on the 2-run single from Juan Gonzalez. And that'll bring up Dean Palmer. So this game may not be for the faint of heart if you're a pitching fan. Here is Dean Palmer. 4-5, and that is an 18. 4-2 is a second baseman. Second baseman is Alomar. He's a 1. That makes a total of 19 with the infield halfway. 19 is a single knocked down by the fielder's glove. So Alomar was able to knock it down but not make a play. It's going to be an infield single. Runners at first and second, still only 1 out for the catcher, Gino Petralli. And that's one, if he had been back, he would have made the play to first base for the out, and the runner would have advanced. But since they were halfway for the double play, his range was cut short, and therefore all he could do was knock it down. Here's Petralli. 1-2 is a 35. 1-6 is a 1, total of 36. It's a ground ball to third, and the infield is halfway, so it's a second to first double play. How about that? 5-4-3 around the horn. Double play is executed, and Guzman limits the damage to just 2 runs. So after 1 complete here in Texas, it is 4-2. As we have fireworks on a Sunday night. It's not July 4th anymore, but they certainly have a lot of fireworks going. And coming back out to try to regroup is Nolan Ryan. Of course, he did not have the best year. This may have been his last season. I don't remember. But he was only, he's 5-5 with a 4.88 ERA. So not his best year, obviously. Here's Turner Ward. 4-6 is a 1. 4-1 is the first baseman, Palmeiro. He will take it to the bag himself, 1 away. So a good start there for Nolan Ryan, but now we flip the order over to Devon White. He walked, stole second, went to third on a throwing error by the catcher, and then scored on Alomar's double. 2-5 is a 4, 2-4 is a 2, total 6. That's a strikeout. So maybe Nolan Ryan's tuning in a little bit. Got through that first inning, and now he's looking to settle down. 5-2 is a 1, 5-2 is a 5. A total of 6, that's going to be a walk. Nolan Ryan, with his lack of control, got all those 5s in the walk column, so that tells you he walks a lot of guys. So Alomar will walk. There's no plus or asterisk near that, so there will not be a steal. Paul Molitor will step up, hit that home run first time up. 4-4 is an 11. That's a possible error. 4-3 is a third baseman, Dean Palmer, so it looks like it's going to be an error. Dean Palmer's an 11. The only way this is not an error is if we roll an 11. You don't, so it's going to be an error. One base error on Dean Palmer. Since the blue die is a 2 and not a 6, it's only a one base error. So E5 on Palmer, and the inning continues. Second error of the game by Texas. And that's why I said at the beginning of the ball game that Texas defense was found wanting. Here's Joe Carter. 3-5, and that's a 30. 3-6 is a 2, total of 32 in column 3, and that is a fly out, or actually a line out to right field to end the inning. So Nolan Ryan survives the error and pitches his way around it and keeps the Blue Jays off the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the second, still 4-2 in favor of Toronto. And Doug Strange is your batter, second baseman. 5-4, and that's a 27. And a 5-2 is a 5. That's a total of 32 in column 5, and that is a fly to left field. One away. Now they do have a K here, so let's see if that modifies it. K says, let's see here about the Ks. Pitcher has a K beside his column 5 grade, and the result is any out with runners on base scored as a strikeout. What runners are not on base, so it will not be scored as a strikeout. So we'll keep the result of a fly to left, and here comes Dan Peltier. 4-1's a 5. 4-4 is the shortstop, Tony Fernandez, who's a 1. So that's an easy play for Fernandez. 6-3 put out. 2 up and 2 down for the shortstop, Mario Diaz. 1-6 is a 5. 1-5 is a 1. Total of 6. That's a strikeout to end the inning. First strikeout for Guzman. And a relatively easy inning. 1-2-3. And maybe both pitchers are settling in. So we go to the third. Still 4-2. But Ryan has more settling in to do than Guzman does. Here's Olerud. He homered his first time up. 3-3 is a 32. 3-1 is a 1. Total of 33, and that's a line out to center field. One away for Tony Fernandez. 3-4, that's the potential rare play. See if we get it even or odd. We get an even, so it's a ground ball back to the mound. Speed of Fernandez is a 4. This has to be a 5 or higher to get him out. He does not, so Tony Fernandez beats out an infield hit, as Nolan Ryan was not quick enough to make the play. Infield hit for Fernandez. He's 2 for 2. Brings up Ed Sprague. 6-5 is a 36, and that's a strikeout for out number 2. And that'll send us to Pat Borders. 1-5 is a 35. 1-5 is a 2. Total of 37. It's a ground ball to second. And easy play for Doug Strange to end the inning. So 2 shutout innings now turned in by Nolan Ryan since that first inning debacle. Keeps the score at 4-2. Keeps his team in the game for now. But you just kind of get that feeling that Toronto's offense is just a powder keg ready to explode again. Back to the top of the order for Texas is Gary Reedus. Or as I like to call him, Gary Reedus, not the Temptation. 2-4 is a 60, and that's a static number 4 here, so that's going to be huge. That cannot change. Blue die is a 6, which means we're looking at the right fielder, Joe Carter. And Joe Carter's range is only a 3, cannot top this, so that's going to drop in for a hit. It says if the outfielder's rating is not higher than the raised number, the ball drops in for a double. With less than 2 outs, batter stretches hit for a triple if third base is open and his speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Well, it looks like he probably will get a triple out of this because Reedus has a 4 speed and Joe Carter only has a 3 arm. So this will actually, Reedus will actually put on the Jets and actually get a triple out of this. A leadoff triple for Gary Reedus. How about that? Gary Reedus with the triple. And now the infield is back for Toronto. They want to get the out and limit the damage to 1 run. Here's Franco. 2-1 is a 41. 2-6 is a 2, total of 43. And with the infield in, well, the infield was back, so if the infield was in, it'd be get through for a single. But since the infield was back, it'll just be a ground out, and that's going to go short to first. So Fernandez makes the play, checks the runner, but Reedus got too big of a jump. He scores, and it's now a 4-3 ball game. So Texas right back in the game at 4-3. And here is Palmeiro with 1 out and the base is clear. 2-5, and that is a 16. 2-5 is a 2, total of 18. And that will be a fly to center field. Fly to center field for out number 2. He does have the W here, but that only comes into play on results 12-16. We got an 18, so that took that out of the equation. So 2 down. And that will send up Juan Gonzalez. He had a big 2-run single his first time up. Triple ones. That's a 40, and that's a 1. 41 in column 1 is a clutch hit. With runners on base, batter drives a double into the gap. All runners score. When the base is empty, it's a base on balls. Oh, how about that? So it would have been a hit if there was a clutch situation, but since the bases are empty, it reverts to a walk. I think it's the first time I've had that result. But obviously that's on there based on Juan Gonzalez's stats. So at least that's what I would be thinking. So if the runner had been on base, he would have doubled. But since the bases were empty, it turns into a walk. And here comes Dean Palmer. 2-2 is an 11. That's going to be a base hit. 2-1 is a 1, total of 12. That's a base hit. Let's see, runner with 4 or 5 speed advances 2 bases. Gonzalez is a 4, so he will get the 2 bases. Puts runners on the corners. There is a plus sign there, though, so Dean Palmer has to try to steal. That's the way I'm playing it with the automated steals. So we go into our steal situation and look at our pitcher-catcher grid. Hold rating on Guzman is a 2, which is not very good. And the catcher borders defensive rating is a 3. So we bring it over here. A 2 and a 3 is a 33. So it says here if roll is equal or less than the combined stolen base rating, the runner is caught stealing. So if we get a 33 or less, he's caught stealing. Anything higher than 33, he will steal it. So that's what we're looking for. Whoops. Oh, that one didn't even go through the thing here. Hold on, let's try it again. 46, it is a stolen base. So stolen base for Palmer. So Palmer reaches and steals. And now runners are at second and third with 2 outs for Gino Petralli. Petralli. 3-6, that's a left-right split, and that's going to be a base hit, a 2-run single for Gino Petralli. Circle that one. We got that left-right split on the 3-6. Lefty versus a righty. It's a 2-run single, and Texas has claimed the lead 5-4. And now it's Guzman who might be needing relief, as Texas has come all the way back. Big stolen base there by Palmer. That allows him to score. 3 runs in the inning. It's 5-4 Texas. And now Doug Strange, the batter, and Guzman just can't get that 3rd out. 1-1 is a 15. He's still not going to be able to get the 3rd out. 1-4 is a 1, total of 16. That's an infield single plus a potential error. The blue die is a 4, which means it's into the hole at second base, and the hurry-up throw may be wild. So we're checking the error rating of Alomar, who's a 53. So if this is a higher than a 53, he will throw the ball away. It's right at 53. It's not higher, so he will not throw the ball away. It'll just be an infield single. So Molitor was just able to keep that from getting by him, but it will be an infield single for Doug Strange. Runners at first and second with 2 outs for Peltier, and Guzman still can't find that third out. 1-2 is a 2, 1-3 is a 1. That's a strikeout, and he finally got the third out. But Texas puts 3 on the board and takes a 5-4 lead after 3 innings of play. And we may be getting, this may turn into a bullpen game very shortly because neither starter has shown to be effective. Ryan back out with a lead for the first time. Faces Turner Ward, number 9 hitter. Oh, and he runs into a 6-6. How do you like that? 6-6 is a 9, which goes to the ballpark card. 6-2 is a 1, so we're going to add 1 to whatever the new result is. We come up here. Turner Ward is a lefty, so we're reading the top column, not the bottom column. We get a 5, which turns this into a 10. So that's a 10, and a 1 is an 11. So if we roll a 6, it'll be a home run. Nope, it's going to be a single. But he does have the asterisk there, so that means he will be looking to steal. So a leadoff single for Turner Ward, and he's looking to steal. Nolan Ryan's hold rating is a 1, which is really bad. And the catcher rating for the pitcher, Petrali, is a 2, which is really, really bad. So now when you put those two together, the 1 and 2, it's a 23. So runner has to hold if you roll a 23 or less. Anything higher than 23, it's a stolen base. It's a 13. Wow, he has to hold. That's amazing. I didn't see that one coming. I thought that was a sure steal, but as it turns out, it was not. But he's on base with the leadoff single. And here is Devon White. 1-4 is a 3, 1-6 is a 2. That's a 5, which is a strikeout in column 1. So struck him out. Devon White makes the play. Here's Alomar. 5-2 is a 1, 5-4 is a 5. Total of 6, and that's a walk, but with run on first only, it turns into 2 balls, so it's a 2-ball count. I'm going to try again. 6-5 is a 36. That's a strikeout. So a big turn of events there. Went from a walk to a strikeout. 2 down for Paul Molitor. Ryan would at least like to make it 5 innings if he can. 4-3, that's a 25. 4-1 is the first baseman. So again, that's one of those where they're trying to bunt down the line, and we're looking at the first baseman, and that is Palmeiro, who happens to be a 1. So Palmeiro is a 1. So let me make sure I got this right, because sometimes it says that 25 is a little bit shaky about who you use defensively. I think you ignore the blue, and there's something about if it's in column row 3 or row 1, you just go with whoever is there. So that's make a big difference because you're talking about a 1 defense in Olerud or a 4 defense in Palmer. And I'm trying to remember off the top of my head about that. And I know I read it somewhere before in all these rules. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay. Well, that doesn't really tell me anything on this. Oh, here we go. When the play result is a 25, use the original square referred to determine the fielder. This will always be the first baseman, square 1, or third baseman, square 3. Well, it's square 3, so we're looking at third baseman. So that means Palmer has to have a 5 or a 6 to make the play. He does not. It's going to be an infield single for Paul Molitor. Kind of a strange strategy, but it does keep the inning going. As he caught Dean Palmer laying back too far, drops a single, a bunt single, keeps the inning going for Joe Carter. Now Nolan Ryan really has to be ready. Carter, 2-2. That's going to be a base hit. 2-2 is an 11. 2-6 is a 3. It's a total of 14. That's a single up the middle. Runners advances 2 bases if their speed is higher than 4. Turner Ward, his speed is a 4, so he will get the 2 bases. And going to third on the play is Molitor as he runs at a 5. So Joe Carter, RBI single, has tied the ball game, and now the Blue Jays are looking to take the lead. On the Joe Carter single here is Olerud, and boy, you wonder if they should stick with Nolan Ryan or not. I guess because he's Nolan Ryan, we'll stick with him. 2-4 is a 60 with a 4 on it. 2-2 is going to be, let's see, the 2 is going to be the left fielder. So Juan Gonzalez will have a chance on this, but he's only a 4, which is not top that. It's the same, but not higher than that. So that will drop in for a hit. Actually, it's going to drop in for a double. It will drop in for a double. So a double, let's see if the runner can score from first base. We know the run on third scores, but can Carter score on the Olerud double? And this is going to be all for Nolan Ryan. He will come out after this. So double. Runners advance 2 bases, scoring from first if speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. All right, well, his speed is 5, which is definitely higher than the outfielder's arm, so he will score. It's a 2-run double. And the Blue Jays have taken those 3 runs right back and take a 7-5 lead, and that's going to be it for Nolan Ryan. He is done, and he just did not have it. So now they go to the bullpen for Texas. Wonder which way they want to go with this. They need somebody who can get them out of the inning. They're going to go to Chris Carpenter, a recent acquisition from the Florida Marlins. So Carpenter will be coming on in back of Ryan, trying to get this third out and move us on to the next inning. But Fernandez, 5-2 is a 27, 5-3 is a 2, total of 29. And that's going to be a fly to center to end the inning. But 3 runs come in for Toronto. They reclaim the lead 7-5. That will keep Guzman in the game a little bit longer. But Nolan Ryan giving up 7 runs all earned. That's rough. But Guzman, maybe he gets new life. We'll see. Mario Diaz is your leadoff hitter. Mr. Diaz. Make sure I didn't have anything funny on the focus there. All right, so Diaz is up. 1-1-1. That's a 21 actually, which will be a single plus a potential error. The blue die being a 1 is a left fielder. Left fielder for Toronto is Ward, and his error rating is a 42. So it says here, we're going to roll and see if it's a higher than a 42. It is, so it will be an error. It'll be a single plus an error on Turner Ward. So sloppy game all the way around. Single plus the E7. And Mario Diaz is aboard. Tying run comes to the plate, and Gary Redus. 3-6, that's a left-right split, but it's a lefty versus a righty. That's a line out to short. And with a runner at second, it's a potential double play. So what it shows here on the 3-6 result for a potential double play, it says leaping catch by the shortstop for the out. With a runner on second and less than 2 outs, possible double play. Roll against the shortstop defense. If die is higher, runner on second base is doubled off. Well, Fernandez is a 1. So as long as we roll a 2 through 6, it will be a double play. And it is. So they double off the runner. Big double play there for Guzman to turn on L6, and then Diaz is doubled off 6 unassisted for the double play. 2 quick outs, and the rally is quickly squelched, I should say. Easy for me to say. 2-5 is a 4, 2-3 is a 1, total of 5 for a strikeout. And Guzman, he may be looking to try to get 5 innings in and try to get a win out of this. 7-5 ball game. Chris Carpenter back out. He only faced 1 batter, so he's definitely good to go for the next inning. He'll be facing Sprague Borders and Ward here in the top of the 5th of a 7-5 ball game. 5-5 is an 8. 5-1 is a 1. Total of 9. And that will be a base on balls. So another walk. Ed Sprague is aboard on the walk. Brings up Pat Borders. 4-2 is a 16. 4-2 is a second baseman. That is Strange, and he is a 3 for a total of 19. So infield halfway at 19, it's going to be knocked down by the fielder's glove for an infield single. Had he been playing back at normal depth, he would have made that play, but with a runner at first, they were at double play depth, so it's going to be an infield single for Borders. And Texas just can't catch a break. Here's Turner Ward. 6-3 is a 36, so that will be a strikeout. We'll catch a break on that one with a strikeout. But now the order flips over to Devon, White, and Alomar. So the hits just keep coming for Toronto. 5-1 is a 4 with an asterisk there. 5-5 is a 3, total of 7. And that will be a walk. But obviously he can't steal because there are people in front of him. But the bases are now loaded with only one out. And Roberto Alomar, the batter. Carpenter on dire straits. Infield for Texas is looking for the double play. 1-1 is not going to matter. That's a 10 with a double asterisk. 3 is a 1 there. It's a total of 11. That's going to be a single up the middle. Runner advances 1 base. Runner on with 4 or 5 speed goes 2 bases. So let's see who's on second. Runner on second is Borders. I don't think he can move up, but I think he only gets 1 base. Double check his speed. Yeah, he's only a 2, so actually just a 1 base advancement. So the double asterisk will not come into play because the base paths are blocked up. But a run is in. It is now 8-5. And that brings up Molitor. Carpenter trying to get through this. 2-3 is a 16. 2-2 is a 2, total of 18. That's a fly out to center field with runner on base and less than 2 outs. It's a sacrifice fly. So Molitor sacrifice fly to center field. And that will bring home Borders. Another run is in. It's now 9-5. Dolly Parton 9-5. But there are 2 outs now for Joe Carter. Carpenter trying to get through the inning. 2-5 is a 16. 2-4 is a 2. Total of 18. It's another fly to center that ends the inning. That's going to be it for Chris Carpenter. His night is done. 2 runs for the Jays, and they now lead it 9-5 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And now Guzman just wants to get through the inning so he can qualify for a victory, assuming that Texas does not come back and tie the game against the Toronto bullpen. But right now it's Palmeiro against Guzman. 3-5. That's a 3. 3-3 is a 2. So we keep this here as a 2. We're going to add 2 to whatever the new number is. Right now it's a 3. But we go over here to column 2, looping line drive. That's a 4. So that's going to be, it's going to stay a 3. The die roll 4 relates to a 3. So it stays a 3. 3 and a 2 is a 5 in column 3. And that is a short fly to left field. 1 away. So Arlington Stadium could not help Palmeiro on that one. Now we go to Juan Gonzalez. 6-3, and that's a 36, which is another strikeout. 2 down. And that brings up Dean Palmer. 2-2, that's an 11. It's another base hit, but again, he has to steal. But down 9-5, you wonder if you really should be doing that. But he's got a good chance to steal because of the rating of the pitcher. So let's see how they want to do this. He's a 2 and Borders is a 3, so the number is 33. So he needs a 33 or less to be successful. I'm sorry, 33 or less he's caught stealing. 34 or higher he's successful. He's successful. So stolen base for Dean Palmer. Like I said, not exactly what you would expect there, but that's the way it turned out. So the single and the stolen base. He is in scoring position for Gino Petralli. So a base hit could bring Texas a run. So that was actually a pretty big stolen base to get in scoring position with 2 outs. And here's Petralli. 5 5s of 20, 5 5s of 5, total of 25. And that will be a walk. And we're going to action column M. And action column M talks about wild pitches and balks. So we can roll for that. And we get a 12. 12 says pickoff chance. Attempt to pick off. If blue die is higher than pitcher's hold rating, runner gets back safely. It's not higher. He's a 2, and that's a 2, so he gets picked off second base. Wow. He just stole second, and now he gets picked off. Go figure. Dean Palmer caught stealing with a pickoff. We'll call it 1-4 as Alomar got in behind him, snuck in behind him, unbeknownst to Dean Palmer, who was kind of lollygagging there. And he is out of there. So that's going to end the inning. 9 to 5 after 5 innings of play, and now Texas needs a new pitcher. Coming up for Toronto's Olerud Fernandez. So they're going to go to a lefty, I think, here. They're going with Bob Patterson. Bob Patterson. He is a fly ball pitcher. If we hit a 4-2 or a 4-5, everything moves over to column 6 on both his card and the batter card. So be cognizant of that. But Patterson is your new pitcher to face the lefty John Olerud. And Olerud is all he's done is homered and doubled. 2-2. He's going to get a single this time. That's an 11, so that's a base hit. John Olerud, a triple away from the cycle, which I've never had before. And I don't know if Olerud's capable of getting a triple or not, but that's what he has left to go to get that elusive cycle. Here's Ed Sprague. I'm sorry, no, it should be Tony Fernandez, not Ed Sprague. Sprague is on deck. It's actually Tony Fernandez who gets the call. I'd actually put Tony Fernandez in the Texas stack, so he was fraternizing with the enemy. I won't make Cito Gaston very happy. 4-6 is a 2, 4-1. The first baseman, that's a total. First baseman Palmer is a 1. That's a total of 3. That'll be a 3-6-3 double play, and that's going to make Cito Gaston even less happy. 3-6-3 double play erases the runners, and that brings up now Ed Sprague. 2 outs, bases clear in a 9-5 ball game. 5-2 is a 32. 5-6 is a 3. Total of 35, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So after the leadoff single, Patterson gets the double play ball. Pitcher's best friend gets out of the inning. We go to the 6th, bottom of the 6th rather, and it is still 9-5, and that's going to be it for Guzman. They're going to go ahead and let him cap him at 5 innings where he can qualify for the win. See how many hits and walks and strikeouts he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits allowed to go with those 5 runs all earned. No home runs. And let's see what he did as far as walks. He walked 1, 2. So I got him for 3 walks. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got him for. So the new pitcher coming in for Toronto will be Mike Timlin, right-hander. Mike Timlin will be coming on, and he'll be facing Strange, Peltier, and Diaz. Switch left and right. 2-2, and boy, that roll's been famous. That's another 11, which is another base hit. So a single for Doug Strange. And that brings up Peltier. And Timlin is a ground ball pitcher, so if he gets a 6-1 or 6-2 with the blue die, it shifts everything back to column 4 here and on the batter card. So he could turn a home run into a double play real quick. 4-4, though, is an 11. That's a possible error. Third 3 is the third baseman. That's Ed Sprague. His error rating is a 33. So let's see if we get higher than a 33 or not. We do. It's an error on Ed Sprague, and now runners are at first and second. Again, a sloppy game. Second error by the Blue Jays. And it's only their tremendous amount of runs that's keeping them in the game, because their defense and pitching has not been stellar. Here's Diaz. 6'2", and that's a split chance against a right-hander. It's a 59. 6'5" is going to be a 4. So the 59, but then we're going to go to the... We don't go to the stadium. We only go to the stadium if it's a home run question, and that would be a 9. A 59 stays static. 59 to 4 is 63, and that's going to be a double into the corner. We know at least one run will score. Let's check on the second run. Runner advances with 2 outs. Runner on with 4 or 5 speed scores from first. Well, they're not 2 outs, so runners are at second and third now on the double by Diaz. Scoring is Strange to cut the lead to 9 to 6. And now we're back to the top of the order, and Gary Redus. With 1 out, the infield is back. I'm sorry, with no outs, the infield is back for the 5-5 is a 20. 5-1 is a 2, total of 22. That's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. And we're going to Action Chart M. And Action Chart M talks about wild pitches, pickoffs. We get a 3, which talks about pickoff error. Pickoff error, possible error on pickoff roll against pitcher's error rating. Timlin is only a 22, so very good chance we could have an error right here. And we do not. It's 13, so how about that? Failed pickoff attempt, but at least it's not an error. Bases remain loaded, but Timlin may not last long if he keeps it up. Here's Franco. 4-2 is a 1. This could be a double play. 4-6, second baseman Alomar, who's also a 1. It's a total of 2, and that will be a double play. 4-6-3. That certainly killed the rally. The run, Peltier will score from third. Diaz takes third. But now the bases are clear other than a runner at third base. The run is in, but now there are 2 quick outs. Texas has scored twice to cut it to 9 to 7. But now Palmeiro is up. And you wonder if they're going to let... Well, they have only one lefty in the pen. That's Castillo. They really want to... You know what? They're going to pull him. They're going to bring him in because they don't want Palmeiro to get that hit off a left-right split. So they're going to go to the bullpen for their one left-hander, Tony Castillo. He's going to come on. And his one job is to retire Rafael Palmeiro and keep it a 2-run game. That's his lone mission in life right here. 6-2, and look at, it's a good thing we did it. Look at that. 6-2 would have been 11 would have been a home run chance. 16 is merely going to be a fly out. So the strategy worked perfectly by Cito Gaston. We hit the left-right split roll, and lefty against lefty forces this to 16, and it's going to be an out to end the inning. And actually it goes to a 17, which is a deep fly to left. So would have been a sac fly had it been less than 2 outs, but there were already 2 outs. So therefore, the inning's over. But Texas does score 2 to nudge a little closer. It's now 9 to 7 after 6 innings of play. And that's it for Castillo, most likely. I do believe he will be exiting because Texas has a lot of right-handers coming up. So they're going to keep with what they've got. Now, for Texas, Patterson pitched a scoreless inning, so they're going to leave him in there to pitch to Pat Borders. Start the top of the 7th. 4-3. It's a 1. 4-3 is the third baseman, Palmer. That's going to be an easy ground out. And he came, if Blue Die had been a 2 or 5, we'd gone to column 6. And he actually would have struck out. But doesn't matter. In this case, the out's an out with the bases clear. 1 out for Turner Ward. 2-1 is a 27. 2-4 is a 2. Total of 29. That is a ground ball to third. Palmer will make the play again. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Devon White. So Bob Patterson has been saving the Texas bullpen with could be 2 innings of shutout relief. 1-3 is a 2. 1-1 is a 1. Total of 3. It's a strikeout. So Bob Patterson getting it done. We go to the seventh inning stretch, and I'm going to need to stretch after all these runs. But if we go to the seventh inning stretch, it is 9-7, and Toronto will be looking for a new pitcher to come on in the bottom of the seventh. And we got to figure out who that's going to be. Looks like it's going to be Mark Foghorn Eichhorn who will be coming on. But before he gets a chance to pitch, we will go to the seventh inning stretch with the score: Toronto 9, Texas 7. And I'm going to stretch myself. Double check the focus, make sure that's all good to go. Alrighty. I know it's annoying when I do that, but at least it makes a better product when it's over. Alright, here's Juan Gonzalez. Because I want to show what's happening on some of these charts, but when I do it, it messes up the focus, so I kind of do it sparingly. All right, here's Juan Gonzalez. Singled, walked, and struck out. Eichhorn, 1-1 is a 40. 1-5 is a 2, total of 42. That is a clutch hit or a walk. The base is empty, it will be a walk. So that's the second time I've hit that result. And I think it was for Juan Gonzalez last time. Or back in the third inning, actually. Because he's the one that has that 40 up there. So it's a leadoff walk. So the tying run is now at the plate in Dean Palmer. And he does have the power to tie this ball game. 2-6. That's right here in the shaded area. 2-6 with the blue is a 3. Not that matters. What matters is this die here is a 6, which means we're looking at the right fielder, Joe Carter. His range is a 3, so right now he'd make that catch. But we need to keep, if for Toronto, they need to keep it a 1 or a 2. The way to do that is to roll a 3 or less. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it stays a 2 or a 1. Roll a 4, 5, or 6, it jumps up to a 3 or a 4, and it'll drop in. So the number they're looking for is a 1 to 3. And they don't get it, it's going to drop in for a hit. So that will fall in for a base hit. Let's see here. Runner advances 1 base, 2 bases if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Joe Carter's arm is a 3, and the base runner, Juan Gonzalez, is a 4, so that means he gets the extra base. So that'll put runners at the corners with nobody out, and Mark Eichhorn struggling. I say, Mark Foghorn Eichhorn is struggling. Not a very good impersonation of the cartoons there, was it? All right, here's Petralli, infield back for the double play. 1-2 is a 35. 1-2 is a 2, total of 37. Ground out to second. The infield is halfway, so it's a double play. 4-6-3, double play. 2 quick outs. The run does score, but now the bases are cleared. It is now a 9-8 game. But at least for Toronto, the bases are empty, so Texas can't mount any more rallies without starting all over again. Eichhorn, the batter. Or Eichhorn, the pitcher, to Strange. 2-3 is a 2, 2-5 is a 3, total of 5, which is a strikeout to end the inning. But the run scores. After 7 complete, it is Texas now only 1 run behind. They trail it 9-8. Now the question is, how long can Bob Patterson possibly go? He has faced a total of 6 batters, which is the minimum. He gave the hit, but the double play took it away, so he's faced the minimum, so they're going to leave him out there. Alomar, Molitor, and Carter got switch and 2 rights, so you wonder if they might go to the right-handers. I think they're going to go to the right-hander now. And they're going to go to Mike Schooler. So Schooler will be coming on for the Rangers. He used to be a closer for Seattle at one point. He is coming on now. Mike Schooler. So Patterson did all they could ask of him. 2 shutout innings, just gave up a hit, nothing else. Struck out 2, so he certainly did his job. And leading off will be Alomar for the Blue Jays here in the top of the 8th of a 9-8 game. 2-6, and that's the Rays number again. 1 says we're looking at the left fielder for Texas. That's Gonzalez. He's a 4. So this number right now is a 2. It needs to stay a 3 or less. So to do that, we need a 1 to 5. The only way this drops in for a hit is if we roll a 6. And we do not. So hauled in out there by Gonzalez, 1 away. He's the one outfielder for Texas that can cover a lot of ground. Brings up Paul Mahler. 1-6 is a 45, and with the bases empty, that's a strikeout. So 2 down for Joe Carter. Olaru's on deck, needing a triple for the cycle, but not likely to happen. 3-1's a 31. 3-4 is a 4, total of 35. And that's going to be a double to center field for Joe Carter. A double to center for Joe Carter. Now the question is, do you walk Olaru intentionally and pitch to Fernandez, who's a much less of a threat? And I think you have to do it. I think you have to do it if you're Texas. They're not worried about any cycle. They're trying to win the game. So they will intentionally walk Olerud and pitch to Tony Fernandez. I don't know if Olerud even had any triples. So he probably didn't even have a chance for one. I don't know for sure. Hard to say. But you gotta play the game you're playing. So here's Fernandez. 5-3 is a 5. 5-5 is a 4, total of 9, and that will be a walk. So it's going to load the bases. So the intentional walk followed by the unintentional walk, and that brings up Ed Sprague. So Schooler in trouble, has to try to get out of the inning. Got the first 2 with no problem, and that double by Carter kind of shook him up. That's a leaner right there. First time I've seen that happen. I don't know if I should do a 3-5-3 or whether I should re-roll. Tough call on that one. I'm thinking it's pretty much a 5. I mean, it's just a little thing there. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to re-roll it. 3-5 is a 3. 3-3 is a 3, total of 6, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. I didn't see any reason to re-roll that because it was 99% of the way to a 5. So I know Toronto fans will say, hey, that's rigged or whatever, but whatever. I didn't see any reasoning in continuing that and redoing it and all that stuff. So, all right, now for Toronto, they get no runs here in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Now, what about Eichhorn? He struggled a tiny bit. They do have lefty Peltier, but they've already used their lefty Castillo, so I think they're going to stick with Eichhorn until he gets in trouble. Dwayne Ward is their closer, but kind of early to bring him in just yet. Peltier is your batter. 2-3 is a 2. 2-1 is a 1. That's a strikeout. So Peltier out on strikes. Brings up Mario Diaz. He's actually 2 for 3 in the game, a single and a double. So he's been a pesky for Texas. 4-4 is a 1, though. It's not going to be pesky this time. 4-3 is a third baseman. That is going to be Mr. Sprague, and he will make the play easily on a 5-3 putout. 2 down for Gary Reedus. 2-5 is a 16. 2-5 is a 3, total of 19, and that will be a fly to center to end the inning. And we go to the 9th inning. Score remains 9-8 as we go to the top of the 9th. And the Rangers, since it's not a save situation, they will bring in an old friend from Toronto, Mr. Tom Hinkie. He will get the call to pitch to try to keep the game where it is. Don't usually bring in the closers when they're behind, but when it's just a 1-run game, I figured not a bad strategy to do so. That leaves Whiteside and Lefferts in the bullpen. And we already know that Ward is loosening for Toronto to come into the bottom of the 9th. Eichhorn actually went 2 innings. Did very well for himself. All right, so Hinkie will be facing Borders, Ward, and White unless they want to do any pinch hitting. Benches, probably not a whole lot on the bench. Now, Texas does have Ivan Rodriguez on the bench, so he very well could be looking to pinch hit if they get that far to a Petrali spot maybe. 2-2, that's at dreaded 11, which is a base hit. So, boy, how many times we hit the 2-2 roll that turned into the base hit. So Borders is aboard, and that brings up Turner Ward. And that's one where Hinkie did. Well, actually, it may not be a base hit because Hinkie's got the asterisk there. So I may stand corrected. It's a 12, but if the pitcher has an asterisk, change it to a pop out to first. So I almost missed that. But you see how he's got all these asterisks in here? That takes away a lot of base hits. So it will not be a single. It'll be a pop out to third. I almost missed that. In fact, I did miss it and finally came back and got it. So corrected myself. It is a pop out. And that's the asterisk. When you have the asterisk in column 2, then anything that turns into a 12 to 16, it changes from a single to a pop to first. So here's Turner Ward. 2-2 again. But this time it's a 55. It's not an 11. But that's only a 1 there. So the likelihood of this falling in for a base hit is not much. The 5 means we're looking at the right fielder Peltier. And his defense range is a 2, which is enough to get the 1. So nice play there by Peltier to make the play. 2 down for Devon White. Devon White stepping up against Hinkie. 5-2 is a 27. 5-2 is a 229. And that is a fly out to center field to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning turned in by Hinkie. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Rangers. And they will have to do it against the closer, Dwayne Psycho Ward. And his 45 saves. So Ward is your new pitcher. That leaves Williams and Cox, 2 righties still in the Toronto bullpen. So Dwayne Ward is on. He'll be facing Franco, Palmeiro, and Gonzalez. And again, Texas does have on the bench Ivan Rodriguez. And they have Hulse, who's a pretty good hitter at 290. So let's see what they want to do here with Franco as a 289 hitter. Franco has had a rough day. He's 0 for 4. They're going to pinch hit with Hulse. So Hulse is going to come in and pinch hit for Franco and take over as the DH if the game goes further. So Hulse, it'll be to lead off the top of the 9th against Mr. Dwayne Ward. 2-5 is a 4. 2-4 is a 1. That's a 5 for a strikeout. So he fails in the pinch. Brings up Rafael Palmeiro. 3-6. That's a left-right split. That's a base hit. Base hit for Palmeiro. I believe that's the second time that's come up. I believe that's the second left-right split. Now my microphone popped out when I reached for that thing I dropped, so let's put this back in. Hopefully didn't mess anything up. At least I'm hoping not. All right, so Palmeiro with the base hit on that left-right split. Tying run is on base. And that brings up Juan Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez is your batter. 3-3, that's a 32. 3-4 is a 1, total of 33. That will be a line out to center field. And had he not been a 1 here, had it been a 2 or higher, that would have been a base hit. But the fact he takes away a lot of hits is covered right there. Here comes Dean Palmer. But let's see, are they going to let Palmer hit it, or do they want to bring in Ivan Rodriguez to pinch hit? Because Palmer, let's see, actually Palmer is 4 for 4 singles, so I'm not going to pinch hit for Palmer. Although Rodriguez is on deck to pinch hit for Petralli. But Palmer's got to get on first. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 9-8. 3-1 is a 4. 3-4 is a 1. So we add 1 to whatever this number is in column 3. And let's see, with column 3, we get a 2, which is a 2. So that changes from a 4 to a 2. That's a 1, total of 3. That's a dribbler in front of the plate. Pat Borders all over it, throws to first, and the ball game is over. So they leave Ivan Rodriguez languishing on deck. He cannot come in the game to do anything, and the ball game is over. Texas tries to come back after being down 9-5. They cut it to 9-8, but they fall 1 run short in their rally, and that's going to end the ball game. Pause the video and come back with the totals and get you ready for next Sunday. All right, for the totals, Toronto wins it by the score of 9-8. 9 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors, 11 left for Toronto. 8 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors, and 6 left for Texas. Winning pitcher Juan Guzman, losing pitcher Nolan Ryan. For next Sunday, we will be at the Kingdome in Seattle. And Kingdome in Seattle, and it will be the White Sox taking on the Mariners. Next Sunday night, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball from the Kingdome. It'll be Ken Griffey and the Mariners taking on Frank Thomas and the White Sox. So that's what's going to happen next Sunday. Hope you enjoyed this wild one from Texas. As again, the final score, Toronto 9, Texas 8. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.